Hello everybody. I'm just going to lower this a little bit so I can read your comments. There we go. Whoops. That's better. So I'll just move everything out of the way. So coming in, get a drink, snacks, wine, chocolate, whatever you like. And join me. I'll give you a little look at these yummy new paints. I don't mind trying to roll over and bubble wrap. Leave that. Leave that in the way. Just going to hold on for a minute and see if anyone else can join us. Let's get a bit more light. Fab, people are coming in. So let me start getting the paints out while you're joining. Had a bit of an avalanche before. Hi Ali. Kind of chucked my desk everywhere. So that was fun. Hopefully that won't happen again. I had my water pot on the desk. Managed to kind of bounce the desk whilst I saved that. Hi Lou. I think so, because they're acrylic paints, so yes, they would be water based. They're not a solvent or anything like that. Hi Kelly. So yes, they can be watered down and mixed. So yes, they will be water based. Might actually be easier if I leave them lying down actually, so I can see the colours. Right, got a few watching. So I've got my art journal. Also got something I haven't played with for a bit. I thought might get out. Is my jelly plate as well. So I've got that, and it's a bit dirty, but that's good because it helps everything stick a bit better. Yeah, that was really fun, Ali. Okay, so put this over here. I'm just going to go and fill my water pot up. I knew I'd forget something. I'll be back in a second. Not my water pot, my water spray, I mean. I've got water pot. Here we go. Right, we've got a few people watching now, so we'll crack on. Right, so I showed these before. Oh, hi Alison. Nice to see you. So these are the new Dina wakley paints, 1 ounce or 29 mils. Nice small size. They are solid colour, opaque paints. They are very pigmented. They're nice and thick, so they hold texture and they blend together lovely. They're perfect for finger painting like our impastos. And I'm hoping I haven't got to take... No, that's good. Oh no, have I got to peel off all these caps? Hi Sarah. Oh, phew. So yeah, I thought I'd have a play today. I've got my jelly plate out, which I haven't used for a while. So if you've never seen these, I don't know if that's going to show up on camera. Can you see that? So it's like it says, it's like a jelly type texture, and it's great for printing with and getting a real nice texture. So I thought we might start with that, maybe make a tag or a piece of watercolor paper to go in my book. So let's do that first. Let's do it on a tag first. So you can use a brayer to roll the paint out. Hi Muriel. And you can use stencils, you can use texture tools, you can layer up colours, you can mix colours, all sorts of possibilities with these. You can use inks on these as well, all sorts of options. So let's just put down some white to start with, just to get something on my plate. Don't need an awful lot. You can see there's just very small dots of paint, not very much at all. And we'll just roll that out to get a coverage on here. And if this is something you like, I could look at getting these in as well. You can see that was very little paint, and yet I've covered my whole plate with that. And to clean your roller, you can just use a baby wipe if you want to clean it. Help. Okay, hopefully I can help a little bit. I'm not a master with them, but I will see what I can come up with. So let's get some more colours on. So that was white. Let's go in with magenta now. A little bit of magenta. And let's go for lime. Did I say hi, Susan? I think I did. If I didn't, oops, that's a bit too much. If I didn't, hello. And let's have peacock. A little bit peacock. Okay, so I'm not going to bother to clean my roller. I don't mind if the colours mix, that's fine. So we're not applying a lot of pressure. We're letting the brayer do the work. So mine's a bit squeaky, probably where it's not been used for a while. I'm going to keep rolling so these colours mix together. I might have a little bit more magenta. Oops, or a lot more magenta. They really do not need much of a push, those paints. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to just use that to start with. So ignore this mess, that's the back of a tag I took some paint off with before. So I'm going to lay it straight on my jelly plate and give it a push. Just squashing that out so it picks up this colour. Okay, and you'll see that has pulled that paint off nicely. Okay, so we've got a nice coverage here. Now we can go for another colour. Maybe this time we can use a stencil as well. So I'll get some colour on the plate again. Let's go for more green. Let's try evergreen. So I'm going to fill, but I'll try and blend the other colours into it as well. Yep, so we've still got lots of that pink, the magenta rather, on my brayer and on the plate itself. So I will just start by just picking up some of that colour. Okay, so you can see we're starting to get layers. Okay, and what we can also do is lay our stencil on top, push that down, and we can pick it up that way. Let's see how it works. So that we get the stenciling. Okay, so that's another way. And now we'll be left with the negative stenciling. If you can see, I'll hold it up so you can see what I mean. So we've got the other side of that stencil left now, so we can apply that to our tag. Just picking it up. Okay. Okay, you can see that. Okay, I think it needs brightening up a bit, so let's try, I don't want to end up with muddy brown. That's the problem. So think about your colour wheel a little bit here. Let's try lemon. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to press that in and I'll roll that over. Oops. And take that off. So I've used it a bit like a stamp, I suppose you could say. See that? And we can go in with our tag again. And you can, once this starts to get a bit wet, you could stop and dry this. They're not super wet paints, they're very thick. But you are just going to get those colours blending together. You can see it's getting a bit muddy on there. So it's a good time to dry, I think. So we could add some white again to freshen it back up. I will clean my brayer this time. If I have some wipes. I think I need to get some more wipes. Oh no, hold on. Here's some. So I just simply give it a scrub. You could clean it in the sink as well, would be fine. Or you could roll the brayer off onto some paper as well, is another good way to get the excess off. So we'll roll that white out. Bit more. And we can also use texture tools, or just draw in it. You could use, as long as you don't stab it, you don't want to damage it, you could use a pencil very lightly, or a palette knife. I've got some brushes with tools on here. I can just do like this. And then again, put this over the top. Okay, and we've lightened it now. So we could go back in with another colour. You could just keep going and going and going and going. I wouldn't clean your jelly plate too often. It's good to have that kind of base layer on, so you don't have to keep reapplying lots of paint to get that base on there. Let's do this again. So you could just keep going as much as you want. And we changed it again. So loads of things you can do with those. I will actually brayer that back on and just let that dry on there. So I've got some colour for next time. Right, so that's one way you can use the paints. So I'll pop that away. and you want to cover them. And I like to keep mine in the case that it came in, otherwise you get like bits of fluff and stuff stuck on them, which isn't so pretty. So let's just blast that tag a little bit. So I don't know how well it's going to show up there. Hopefully you can see that there's some nice texture on there. And they're very matte feel. They're not shiny paints. They're like our impastos from Prima that we have. A lot thinner in that they don't have the same body as impastos. It just helps to keep a base layer on there for when I use it again next time. I haven't then got to apply lots of paint to kind of prime it. I will clean it every so often, just not every time, because it saves me wasting lots of paint to get the plate covered before I use it. So yeah, they are thinner than impasto paints, but still have a thicker feel than a normal acrylic, if that makes sense. So I could do onto that some stamping and some more stenciling maybe. So let's use another stencil, and we'll use the paints again, but this time just dabbing them straight on. So let's go for turquoise, and I'll try and make so you can see a little bit onto my mat there, just a tiny dot. That's probably 2 or 3 millimeters, and I want a firmer brush so I can stipple with it. She says, trying to find a brush. Here we go. It's a bit big, but it'll do. So I'm dabbing on, blotting a lot of it off so I don't get too much paint on my brush, and then holding my stencil firm. You can tape it if you prefer, and just dabbing this through here, so stippling the paint through my stencil. And carefully lifting that away. And there we go. So a bit more. And we could use this as well if we get my book. So we can use every little bit of paint. We can flip this over now. Move my tag out the way. We can flip this over and use it as a stamp. So if we pop that down, we can push this paint onto my page if it's wet enough. Yeah, so not much, but a little bit of extra texture. I've still got a bit of paint on my brush as well, so I can start this now. So I haven't gessoed my pages on this occasion. The reason being that, just like in pastos, I know that they're thick paints. They're not going to run. Thanks, Muriel. I know they're not going to run like crazy through my page. Okay, so I've not got any bleeding. If you were going to start using a water spray or something, or you wanted other mediums like ink sprays, then I would definitely go ahead and gesso those pages first. Right, so I like with impastos to use my fingers. They're texture paints, so they're great paints to paint with your finger. So let's carry on that turquoise colour to start with. So I'll just add some bits of the turquoise randomly. And I'm going to use my finger. And they are very pigmented, so you could easily water these down. Okay, and they will go further. I've got textured paper here, so rubbing it with water is not the best. But yes, you see my point anyway. They can be watered down. Is there any colours in particular anyone would like to see? And I can try and use those colours. So I don't think I want to use like 27 colours. That would be a bit crazy. So that one was turquoise. Let's do the evergreen. Oh, the cat's back outside. And you'll see that they blend very nicely together. That cat is so funny. So you can create nice shades. Lime green. Oh, there goes my water spray. Honestly, I'm checking everything. Lime green. Okay, that will go nicely with this page actually. So this is lime green. This squiggle here is lime green. There you go, there's lime green. And it is like a lime. Sometimes things have names and you think, oh, that's not really how I'd imagine, you know, whatever, avocado or something to look. But no, that does look like a lime to me. And let's throw in some olive. I'll use as many colours as I can. Oh, that's a nice olive green. I like that. That is a really pretty green actually. It's green, it's a bit yellow, brown. Nice. What else have we got here? We could use some softer colours as well. Fuchsia. You want to see fuchsia? Where's fuchsia gone? Fuchsia. Oh, this will be a nice little accent colour actually. So let's do some dots with this. Make little circles. So this is fuchsia. Yeah, lime green's really nice. And this is a very, it's a bright kind of red purple. Reddy pinky purple. You can really see that red as you blend it out in this colour. So there's fuchsia. Oh, no worries, Hazel. I just using the jelly plate to start with. I made a little tag just showing how you can layer up the paints and use texture tools, and we're just playing with some colours now. What other colours could we throw in here? I was saying about something softer. This is carnation, so there are paler colours. They're not all, you know, really zingy. Well, this is a pretty colour. And the little nozzle in them actually is quite useful in itself to create patterns and textures. You can see how they come out because it's really thin, but you're applying pressure, it comes out fairly thick. So I could even just leave that to dry like that and that would look nice. And they are opaque colours, but if you've got them very thin, you should be able to, like here, sort of overlap them. They're not transparent, so they're not going to, you know, create shades, but you should be able to see them through each other nicely. Cheddar. Okay, I love the name of cheddar. It's so funny. Here we go, cheddar. Where can we pop cheddar? Maybe, oh, I missed a little fuchsia, look. Maybe we can pop cheddar a bit towards the edge. Yeah, they're really nice colours, aren't they? Let's have, oh, that was a bit too much cheddar. Pop it over here as well. Scoop some of that up. So cheddar is exactly as you'd expect. It's a yellowy, browny orange. It's very vibrant. If you have a look at Dina's work, Dina Wakley, she's just fantastic. Art journaler. And if you look at Tracy from Wall and Create as well, she's got group as well. She does some fab work with these and stamping. Okay, I don't think we want to do too many more colours. Does anyone have any others they'd like to see? Try and keep it together. We could add something paler in, maybe elephant. I love the name of that one. So this is like a cool grey. We could use in the kind of gaps. So they are really fun paints. They just get you to want to, you know, just pop your fingers in and splot them around and have a bit of fun. I love finger painting. Like, it just brings out the child in you and let your creativity go a bit. And we'll blend some of these colours. They do dry fairly quick, so if you're wanting to blend them, do that, you know, quite quickly. Okay, any more colours we'd like before I dry this and maybe do some stamping and stenciling and whatnot on top? Give me a shout now. So the colours are pretty much as you see them in the tubes. The tubes are almost see-through, so you know they're not that much different. They're more vibrant, if anything, than you see them in there. If you can see what I mean, because it's slightly clouded, the plastic, but it's not in a coloured tube or anything. So they're pretty much as you see them on the website is how they'll be. And we could add a bit of black. Oh, actually my favourite colour in the sprays, where is it? Night. Let's add a little bit of that for some contrast, shall we? What should we do? Some lines maybe? Just the darkest, loveliest blue. Nice colour. So I'll just hold this up. Can you see that it's blue? The light in here is pants. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's catching. You can catch that that's blue rather than black. Oh, it's showing a bit there. Okay. Oop. Everything's off again. Right, let's dry that then, and then we can do a bit of layering. Where's my heat tool popped off to? Here it is. So I'll show you as well. Look, no bleeding. No bleeding on here. So they're nice thick paints. So a good one on the go, because you haven't got to have water and your gesso, you know, and you don't even have to have brushes, so you could take these away with you. It'd be great for an on the go kit, just to have a bit of fun. You know, pop them in the car if you've got a long lunch break or something. And they clean off your hands very easy. I've been wiping my hand as I go. I think it's the matte and the creaminess of them, they just come off very easily. So yeah, they'd be a good on the go paints, and the size as well makes them very easy to take with you. And I reckon you'd probably find lots of trays that they would fit into quite nicely. So while I'm drying, I can show you them again. So this is black. Night was that dark blue we just used. Magenta. Peacock. Elephant. And we've got cheddar. Evergreen. Carnation. It's that really pretty pink we used. We've got, tangerine, more of an orangey orange. Buff. Fuchsia that we use for the dots, the splodges. I've got lovely blue lapis. Sky. Blushing, a brighter pink than the one we used. Marine, that looks a nice colour, I have to play with that one. Ocean. Turquoise. There are a few more colours and the metallics I need to get, but I've got most of them. Lime. Lemon. White. Apricot. It's pale kind of peach colour. Eggplant. Blackberry. Umber, which I think is like a dark brown. Yeah, that's like a dark browny colour. Olive, obviously olive we used. Heather, another nice pale colour. And then a real red ruby. Alright, so everything's dry except those big lines that I did. So we could include our tag somewhere, perhaps. So let's start with some stamping on the tag. I've just got some general backgroundy stamps. So I've got Tim Holtz, old one. This is Mixed Media, CMS 125. And then a newer one, Faded Type, CMS 397. I think we've still got some of these. So let's have a play. Let's go for this one. So I've not used this one before, so I need to prime it a little bit. So we'll apply some ink. This is VersaFine Clair. What is it called? Nocturne. I wanted to say Midnight. Nocturne. So the black. This is what I use for my stamping. It's a nice juicy ink. I'll go onto the back of the tag. So normally let that dry when it's a new stamp. We'll stamp that off. So it's not perfect, you can see, because it's the first time it's been used. So we'll ink again. And now this should be better for us. Okay. And you can use a block if you prefer. I like not to, so I get imperfections because I like those imperfections. And there we go. Some nice stamping. And I'll take one from the other set. Looks like I only ever used the one from this set, so I'll have to do the same. Bit of ink on there, stamp that off, and then a bit more ink. Oops. And we'll do some little dots. Okay, so there's our tag. And we'll give that a quick blast because it's a nice juicy ink. It's a slower drying ink, so you could probably emboss with that because you need a slower drying ink. I think I have embossed with it, yeah. And it's also it's pigment ink and it's permanent ink. So it's just really good for fine detailed stamps. So if you're using like your All and Create, it's perfect for that. Anything with a lot of detail in, it's really nice for that. Okay, let's bring back my journal and we'll do some stamping in here as well, I think. Get rid of that now. Thinking about colours. Shall I switch to oxides? Maybe. Let's grab my oxides. 1 second. So these are not waterproof. They are not permanent. They are water reactive. So every time I wet them, they're going to react. Unless I seal them. Okay, so something that's going to stand out a bit from all that colour. What about candied apple? Let's go for that one. I think we'll use the text stamp again. I'll pop that one away. Or actually, shall we use a different stamp? Let's use an All and Create one. This is 120. Actually, this is one of Tracy's stamps, so that's nice. So Tracy Evans, yeah, I do find her group. I watch a lot of demos. I don't often talk on there. I just like to watch. I think she's really funny. She's got the cutest accent, and yeah, she just knows what she's on about when it comes to paints and stamps. She's just so patient. I'm not very patient. What have I got on there? That doesn't look very nice. Some gesso by the looks of it. Let's get this inked up a bit then. So I'm going to use candied apple. So this is probably not going to give me the crispest image because it's a mixture ink. It's a oxide. It's an oxide, so it's pigment and dye. But we'll see what happens. It'll still give us something nice. So I'm going to use just parts of the stamp in different areas. Oh, that looks quite nice actually. Yeah, that's giving us something nice in the background to look at. Oops, I forgot that paint was wet. It's okay. So we can keep going. I'm not going to re-ink. I'm just going to keep going until I've used what I've got. Okay, that'll do. So yeah, that red stood out quite nicely on there. And if you've got any ink on your stamp, so say We used the oxide. Then I went and put it into another kind of ink. Just don't mix your inks, do clean off, or if you're using any blending tools as well, you don't want to mix the formulas up. You're going to ruin your inks. Okay. Right, so let me just dry that a little bit again. So you can see as well that stamping, even the oxide inks, I've not even used a crisp ink, has gone over the paint very easily. So that's another good thing about them. Sometimes the glossiness of a paint stops it being stamped on easily. And you can see that's covered very easy. So that's another good thing about them. So shall we put this in, and maybe we could chop this tag up actually. Let's chop it into a few pieces to use on our work. And then we can have a bigger bit and a smaller bit. And I can arrange these now. The only thing you have to think in a book is remembering the spine, that you need to close this. So either you need to make sure everything is stuck down 100%, completely flush to the book, or just keep a little bit away from the spine. Whoops, I keep forgetting about that wet paint, don't I? Well, I'm stripy now, like a tiger. That's okay. I'll just wipe that off. So how are we gonna do this? Let's see. Maybe we can build a little thing over here. Wipe my hands, I'm all stripy. Oh, crack my fingers. Okay, so I need something good to stick it down. Get my 3D gel. Primer. And I'll use my finger. I don't like using my finger with this stuff, but it is easier on this occasion. So I want to really quite cover this to the edge, and I can always wipe off any excess that squeezes out. So normally I'd use a thinner gel for papers, but because I want to be absolutely certain this is stuck, I'm going to use my 3D gel. I'm just pushing that down. Oops, I'm making a mess. I'm getting very sticky. Okay, and then the second piece. Incredibly sticky. That piece doesn't want to behave, so I might lay something heavy on that after to get that to stick properly. Shove this piece over here. That piece doesn't matter as much because it's not too near to the middle. Wow, I'm getting wet wipe now because I'm very sticky. I don't like being sticky. Yucky, yucky. Right. So while I have a think about what I'm going to do next, I'm just going to pop my pot on there. Right, I need to build up some images now. Some focal point. So let's think. What can we do? Oh, we can throw everything on the floor. That's a good start. You know, why ruin a habit of today? Just continue with the trend of throwing it all on the floor. That sounds good, doesn't it? Oh dear. Right, we've got some nice. Oh, she might go nicely actually. That's nice. Oh my goodness! Now what's falling off? Nice little vintage girl. I think that will go good. We do, and that looks better. So we could have her. We need to remember it's a journal, so we don't want to go too thick. So I'm not going to start sticking great big embellishments on there, as I won't be able to close. We could have a little bit of tissue paper. This is thinner bare tissue paper. This is the music note one. Now we would want a thinner gel with that, else we will tear it. So I'll use Fabrica Decor medium acrylic, or you will see them called things like soft gel. I'll go for the kind of whiter section, and I don't want very much, just little pieces. I don't want to cover everything I've done. Let's just tear some little bits. Okay. I'll carry on with my finger, seeing as I've started that way. And these will be fairly see-through, semi-opaque or semi-transparent, half glass, half full, whatever you want to say. Oh, that paint's still wet. I keep forgetting about the paint. That's fine. So you're just going to add a little touch of pattern and a little bit of colour. And to overlap onto my tag here a little bit. And we'll go over here and echo that on this side, so you get the two pages merging together a bit more, so they're not two separate pieces of work. And where I've got that oxide, this is a water-based product, so it will activate those inks. They will move around and they'll start to oxidize because I didn't spray that. Okay, that's looking better. I think we still need something else, so let's bring back that stencil. I think I do white, so I'll get my white paint. No, that's not white. Don't want any more colour really, so I'll do as before, a little dot on my page, onto my mat rather, and a stiff brush. Fill my brush, and I'm gonna stipple. I've got red on my mat. That's okay. Stipple through my stencil. Just some patches to break up all that colour. Just watching that dark paint. Where it's still wet. Now we've got an unhappy dog outside now. It's normally a cat. All the nature. I'll use it like a stamp again. Don't want to waste it. He is not a happy doggy. And I like that they clean off nicely as well, off the stencils. Okay, and let's get this girl stuck down. So we'll use that 3D gel again. Palette knife, so I want to get my fingers sticky again. Now I'm clean. A little bit of gel on her. She's a bit thicker, but she's not heavy, so we don't need to go nuts. Pop her there. And we want some wording as well. Let's see what we've got. I put some stickers and things somewhere over here. Underneath. Oh, I've got this nice sticker as well, actually, that would go. It's a Vicky Bouton one. Some of that might look nice, mightn't it? Oh, yeah. Do it with a bit of gel, though, just because this adhesive on the stickers is not, it's not great. It's fine for sticking to, like, normal paper, but when you want to put it on something textured or with paint on, it's not 100% certain, and it will probably peel off at some point. And just using it on both pages to echo the elements and tie it together. Okay. I'll wear that one. There's a piece of sticker somewhere. There's a sticker here that says Escape the Ordinary, actually, and it's got some of the colours we've used, so that might be a good idea. I'd like to raise it slightly, so I'll get some scrap chipboard. I tidied everything and now I can't find anything. Do you ever have that problem? That'll do. How big do we need it? Like that should do. That's actually slightly too big. A bit of the gel. And a bit more on the other side. And we'll pop that up there, I think. So that's kind of our title. And we'll have some smaller wording as well, I think. What have we got here? Let's go to Tim Holtz. He never lets you down. Should we have a black sticker? Alright, let's find something. Now I do kind of daydream when I look at these. So let's see. Life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. That could work, couldn't it? Creativity takes courage. That could work. The impossible is often the untried. Let's have that because it's relevant to the kind of mad style I've used on my page and to that escape the ordinary that I've used. So I'll chop it into some smaller bits so I can kind of cascade them. Right, and where should we go with this one? over here. Or by her. Let's go by her. So pop a bit of gel here. So the impossible. Oh, don't want to stick. That sticker's been naughty now as well. Is often the untried. Okay, and I think that will do. So let's have a little look. Or do we want a little bit of splatters? Maybe like a splatter, don't we? So we have some black splatters. We could use the paint. So I'll pop a tiny bit on my mat. Add a bit of water spray. I chucked it on the floor, didn't I, before somewhere? Over here. Where everything else went on the floor. Oh, excuse my head if I'm in the camera. A smaller paintbrush. We'll cover our little lady up with something. And then get a bigger paintbrush to tap. This just helps control the splatters a little bit more. So you don't kind of cover your walls in stuff in paint. Although saying that, I might have done anyway. And there we go, we're done. Oh, thanks for popping in, Sarah. We're all done anyway, so you're not going to miss anything. So I hope you've seen a little bit of art journaling, a little bit how you can use jelly plate. Very basic, I'm not a pro in jelly plates by any means. And most importantly, our new Fabby paints. So these are online now, thompsoncraftsupplies.com. If you go to all products in the shop and sort by latest, you'll see these and all the new stock we added today. So thank you for watching. If you've got any questions at all, do give me a shout. My next post day will probably be next Tuesday. I might squeeze one in if I get enough orders to warrant going before. I don't want to keep going back and forward while the virus is going on. So we'll just see what happens. If not, it'll be Tuesday. So just be patient with me. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.